Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Good. Y'all doing good? Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. That's Will Amos. That's my partner in our podcast, and that's my wife Julia. She's our amateur photographer. So just look over. She started laughing. Don't be laughing on the video and stuff. That's my video up. So my name is Vincent Evans, and I grew up right down the street on Alta Vista. I didn't get a chance to come to Provine. My brother and sister went here. They busted me to Wingfield, so, but I'm Provine, ran me hard, okay? First, before we get started, first I'll thank you, Ms. Victoria, for putting this together. And I did look at your curriculum. It was 70 pages. I didn't print all 70 pages out, but I looked at your curriculum. And guys, this just blew me away on the things that she has here. If you guys buy into this stuff right here, you couldn't get nothing better from Harvard, Yale, Jackson, I don't care where you go. This is phenomenal. So we're gonna dive right into it. I'm looking at some of the stuff she's talking about here. She's talking about mindset, risk, and benefits of being an entrepreneur. So how many of you guys in here know what an entrepreneur is? That's your hand. All right. Tell me, young man, what is an entrepreneur? I caught you off guard, didn't I? That's what happens to an entrepreneur. You call him God every day. Stuff happens every single day. So what's different between having a job and being an entrepreneur?
It's your own business.
Your own business.
You're not working for nobody else.
You're not working for nobody else. So a job gives you a set pay for set duties, right? Yeah. Entrepreneur takes the risk and the responsibility of cutting the checks, right? Yes. Okay, so it's risk and reward. And that's what she talked about here, mindset and benefits, okay? Now, I'm looking at some of the things here she has risk tolerance, okay? Then she got invention. And I was just looking at real business, and I don't have it here, but we have a patent. I didn't bring the patent. I didn't bring my patent. But we have a patent on invention. And so I'm looking at what she's doing. This is real business stuff right here. She has network marketing, all right? Network marketing. That's why I first got my start in business education, actually network marketing. She has on here franchise, okay? We franchised a herbal landscape of New Orleans back in the day. I look at everything she has here, and it's actually what we do in business. All right? Copyright, okay? This is our book, Biblical Business. We had to get it copyrighted, okay? She has on here trademark. Biblical Business t-shirt has to be trademarked. So everything that she's teaching you guys, we actually are already doing in business. And I'm gonna tell you, she has all this elaborate stuff right here. And so y'all need to thank me. Y'all give her a clap. Y'all clap. Well, nothing great. I think I want y'all to clap for this story. All this stuff, y'all see all the stuff she got. This is what I got for y'all right here. That's what I'm napkin. That's what I'm scooping this last night. I'm scooping on a napkin. And this y'all training for today on this napkin right here, okay? So y'all need to thank her because she put a lot of work in to what she's doing. So listen, first thing I want to talk about, because she's teaching y'all all the what to do, right? How to do this, people gonna teach you that all the time. But who do you have to become to make the how-dos work for you? That's what we want to talk about today. So the first thing I want you to do is you gotta get up and be thankful, guys. How many of y'all understand what Thanksgiving does for you? By your hand. Tell me what Thanksgiving does for you.
You got your thanks for like
Uh-huh. And what does it do when you're thankful versus being grouchy and grumpy and unthankful? Feeling privileged or entitled. To realize what you have. I appreciate everything, right? Good and bad. So Thanksgiving, wait a minute. I know you. You know me? You told me you were gonna be in this class too, didn't you? How did Weldon come? Weldon coming okay? Okay. You ready to open up your hair salon?
No.
You're not ready yet?
Not yet.
Okay, yes you are. We're gonna be ready after the day. You're gonna be ready. Okay. You thought I was gonna forget you, didn't you? Yeah. So, where was I? You made me mess up. Thanksgiving, that's what I was talking about. Okay, being thankful. So, Thanksgiving is the prerequisite for all major breakthroughs. You can't ask God's universe to send you something else and be thankful for what you already have. Okay? So, I want you guys to understand when you get up and you come to class, be thankful. And it's okay to tell your parents, thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad, thank you, Auntie, thank you, Big Mama, for doing the things you do for me. It's okay to tell your teachers, thank you. Right, tell your principal. Now, I didn't tell my principal thank you till I was grown, because he was so mean. When I was a black man, he was so mean, I thought he was just just trying to just bring me down. I thought he was just spoiling all my fun, but he actually was looking out for me. Sometimes you may not agree with your teachers because they are thinking farther ahead than you are, but you must be thankful for everything that's in your life, okay? Even sometimes the lunchroom food is not that good, right? But you gotta be thankful for it, okay? Next thing I want you guys to do, I want you guys to dream big, okay? It's a big world out here. And sometimes you get caught up in the city of Jackson and caught up all this negativity. You really don't understand how big the world is. I want you guys to dream big. You all right, young man? Why you, let me tell y'all something. Y'all just slouching down like this, that's not what an entrepreneur is about. Get excited, man. I came in for you. I said, she ain't paying me now. They're not gonna feed me lunch. No, they not even gonna feed me. I ain't even working for food, I'm working for free. Y'all sit up and y'all tell like y'all excited about somebody gonna be an entrepreneur and be a leader if you slouched out in your seat like, I ain't that kind of teacher. They can't fire me, I'm already fired. All right, y'all perk up. So let's do it this way. All right, now, we're talking about dreams. Let's do this. This is our dream circle, okay? And our dream circle, man, it's hot up in here. Yeah, it's hot. I'm about to sweat. I'm already sweating. That just got started. I'm already sweating. Huh? The heat on.
Yeah, I'm sure they got it on.
What you got the heat on for?
We ain't got it on.
I should have done from that coffee this morning if I know y'all gonna hold me up like this. I need a cold control or something to control it out there, man.
I gonna get you something to drink.
For this is our dream circle. Okay, so in our dream circle, anything goes. Money's on offer it, right? Let's pretend you got all the money in the world. You can have anything you want in our dream circle. So let's suppose it. That's cold water.
Yeah, your wife had.
She good, okay. All right. Okay. Now, in our dream circle, you can have anything you want. So let's just say, what kind of house would you have if you had all the money in the world? Describe, what kind of house would you have? A regular house? That ain't dreaming. You got a regular house now. I said if you had all the money in the world, what kind of house would you have?
3-story.
A what? A 3-story mansion, okay. Now, 3-story. Okay. What'd you say, young lady? A pool in the backyard. Okay, a pool, okay. Well, young fella. A gymnasium, okay, all right. Well, gym in. Okay, all right. Anybody else?
Like a personal like restaurant inside.
A restaurant, yeah. Let's say a personal chef. Let's say a personal chef. Anybody here in culinary? Anybody want a restaurant? Anybody in food service? No culinary people here? Okay, all right. Now, let's assume you got all the money in the world. What kind of car would you drive?
A Tesla.
She heard you. A Tesla. A Ferrari. Who said Ferrari? Ferrari, okay. Young man, right there. A what? A slingshot. What is that? Oh, I thought you, okay. Not the guy. What kind of thing? Hold up, folks. I want to see a slingshot. What do you say, young man in the pink shirt? That's the word.
BMW.
I like that. A BMW? Okay. I can spell BMW. Slingshot.
It's right here.
Spider.
Oh, man. You something outdated. That's called a spider. I know what a spider is. That 3-wheel car. I know what that is. Okay. All right, now, assuming you have all the money in the world, where would you go on vacation? What? Oh, that perk your vacation. You ready to go somewhere. Wait, you ready to get out of school, aren't you? I know you don't like school, do you? Man, I couldn't stay in school when I was in school. My mama made me go to school. I ain't like school, I ain't like church. Okay? But for now, I love being in school and church. Okay? So you'll flip that switch one day. But where do you want to go? Hawaii. Y'all listen up. You want to go to Hawaii? Okay? How you spell Hawaii? Who else? Where do you want to go? Where? Turks and Caicos. That's the place? Turks and Caicos. Well, y'all learning me something. Kurt
Yeah.
and Keiko. With a K or C? I said, okay. Keiko. All right. Who else? Jamaica. Paris. Okay. Paris. Jamaica. Cancun. Tokyo. Okay. All right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Okay. Assuming you have all the money in the world, what kind of clothes did you buy? Huh? I don't know. Give me what brand would you wear?
Louis.
Louis. Okay. All right. Who else?
Regular clothes.
Regular clothes. I get. Who else? Who else?
Chanel.
Chanel. Okay. Chanel. All right. Chanel. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Clothes.
Somebody said Prada.
Prada.
Somebody said
Okay. Prada. All right. Okay. All right now. You got all the money in the world. Who would you help?
My family.
Who?
My mama.
Who said mama? Mama, family, okay. Mama, family.
Somebody said charity.
Who else would you help?
She said charity.
Who? Speak loud. Charities, okay. All right, charities. What kind of charity? Be specific.
Like homeless shelters and stuff.
Homeless shelters, okay. Homeless shelter. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Like something council.
Counseling, okay, like different people that are going through stuff want to give them a place to come and get counsel. Okay, I get it.
No cancer.
Oh, you said cancer. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, cancer. Like, okay. All right. Cancer. Okay. Now,
Like adoption centers.
okay. Now,
Rehab
you got all the money in the world. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to say about you? Huh? Ambitious? Ambitious person? Okay, okay. You want people to know that you're ambitious, all right? All the money in the world, what do you want people to think about you? You're kind-hearted, all right? Okay, you want them thinking you were rich? No, that's not the most important thing? Okay, you're entrepreneurs, okay. Kind-hearted. All right, what else?
that you was thankful and you trusted God.
You were thankful and trusted God. Okay, I like that answer. Okay. Dollar sign right there, right? What's wrong with that picture? It's outside the circle. That's a good observation. But look at it. What's wrong with it? It's small, right? A lot smaller than your dream, right? So oftentimes, what we do is, we typically want to diminish our dreams to the size of our pockets or the size of our opportunities, right? Y'all are entrepreneurs, okay? The world is your oyster, right? Can't cut yourself short, okay? Now, what you should be doing is expanding your dreams. But typically, a lot of times we discount, so we start saying things like we don't need a 3-story house because who's gonna clean that big old house? We'll sell it for a two-bedroom apartment, right? We start saying we don't need a Tesla, a Ferrari, or a BMW. We'll take a Chevrolet, whatever. You see what I'm saying? And we start discounting trips to Hawaii and saying stuff like New Orleans is good enough. We'll go down to New Orleans and have a good time. We start looking at things like our Louis Vuitton, all kinds of stuff, saying Walmart product is good enough. What it is, but we start discounting ourselves. Even when we talk about feeding the homeless, you know, how can we feed the homeless if we can't feed ourselves, right? So we start to discount these things, ambitious and kind-hearted. And what happens is we start to feed into what the labels of the world tell us we are versus feed into who God ordained us to be. Okay, he made each one of y'all wonderfully made in his image, right? To have dominion. And so you have to have the right mindset and the right spirit set so that when things happen in business, you won't be like business. See, business is gonna go up and down, right? It's gonna be a roller coaster sometimes, but you don't want your emotion being a roller coaster, so you gotta be well grounded. So what you should be doing, instead of discounting these things, you should be expanding your dreams to incorporate everything that you want, right? And that's including money, okay? So how does one do that? Because I understand that you guys go through different stuff. You got emotional roller coasters going on. You got a lot of negativity sometimes going on. So what you have to do is you have to start to brainwash yourself, right? You got a subconscious side of your brain and you got a conscious side of your brain. The job of the subconscious is to protect you, to set up comfort zone parameters. And anytime something comes outside those parameters, typically you reject those things, right? Your conscious mind is what feeds that, right? What you learn, your conscious mind. You're learning on the computer. You're learning right here, okay? When you're learning things, that's your conscious mind inputting things into your brain. And your subconscious mind's job is to take those things that you input and use those in time of need to set up those parameters. So you wonder sometimes why you get up and you know you want to go, but you just don't feel like going. You get up on the wrong side of the bed sometimes and you just feel negative. It's like your whole day starts to crumble and go negative. Well, that's your subconscious mind not being trained in the right fashion. So when we talk about being brainwashed, it's a good thing. What we're talking about is feeding yourself the right information so you have the right tools to work with. The subconscious mind is going to grow negativity or positivity. It doesn't care what it grows. Only thing it cares about what you plant. Whatever you plant, that's what it's going to grow. So here are a few things that you must do in order to train your subconscious mind. So as entrepreneurs, you won't be up and down all over the place, okay? First thing you want to talk about is your belief system. And y'all got paper and pencil? Okay, well y'all need to take some notes then. You know what? And that's a good observation. But let me tell you guys something. I trust a dull pencil with a sharp memory any day. And anytime somebody's teaching, whether it's me or teachers, anybody, you want to take notes. Because you don't want to just take notes on just what the speaker is saying. You want to take notes on the thoughts that you're having while he's saying that. Because when people are speaking, it's going to be some thoughts that hit your brain and you need to remember and record. Hey, Doc, you all right? Okay, all right. Lean forward. If you get ready to go to sleep, just lean forward. That way, if you fall, your head hit the desk, you'll be all right? Okay, all right. So, first thing we'll talk about is our belief. To be an entrepreneur, you gotta have a high belief system. Because a lot of people gonna tell you what you can't do, right? A lot of people gonna tell you negativity, right? A lot of people gonna tell you do what status quo said. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with working a job, but if your lane is entrepreneurship, then there's gonna be a lot of people telling you to work a job, and there's gonna be times that you're gonna be challenged, and so you have to go back to your belief system. So you want to have a strong belief in yourself, but for me, I have even a strong belief in God. Okay, but in the combination of those two, that forms my belief system, what I believe in. Now, after I form my belief system, then I have to start to feed that belief. So the first thing I look at is what I speak. Okay, so every day I get up, I'm in meditation, prayer, I'm speaking to myself, I say affirmations. You guys know what affirmations are? Huh? You do? What is affirmation? Say positive things to yourself. There's a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Okay, so you want to develop affirmations. You want to say who you are to yourself and who you're becoming. Okay, so what is your dream? What do you want to be?
Something like lawyer related.
Lawyer related. So you want to be a lawyer, an investigator, something like that, right? So when you speak to yourself, you say things like, I am sharp, I am intelligent, I am articulate, I am going to be a great lawyer. When you say I am, what follows I am starts to work in your behalf in the universe. So you want to speak this every single day, multiple times a day. Speak it in the morning, speak it at lunch, speak it before you go to bed, and you keep speaking these things over and over and over and over, all right? The subconscious mind does not even know the difference between truth or false. All it knows is what you plant in it. So whoever you desire to be, that's what you got to speak over yourself, right? And speak it over each other, speak it over other people, right? Speak it over your parents, over Big Mama, your cousin, them, Ray, Boo Boo, and them. Speak over everybody, okay? But you gotta speak over yourself every single day. This is very important that you do this, right? And then the next thing you wanna do is, you don't wanna engage in negative conversation. Positive thoughts on. All right, positive conversations on, okay? And when you say your affirmations, you wouldn't say an affirmation in the negative. You always say it in the positive and the affirmation and saying, I'm affirming that this is who I am, okay? So you wouldn't say, I am not poor. You would say, I am rich, right? You wouldn't say, I'm not dumb. You would say, I am smart, okay? You got your pen and pencil? Yeah, if you start right, you might stay awake. So, affirmations and positive thought, all right? And make sure that you're speaking this and you want to write out your affirmations, rehearse it, say it over and over, take your phone and record your affirmation, all right? Okay, now next thing you want to do is let's look at what you read. Okay, I didn't like reading in school. I didn't like reading in school. I didn't like reading in college. Okay, I would read the cliff notes and just try to get by, take good notes and everything. I did not like to read. I thought it was redundant, waste of time. I didn't even understand how to read, right? I read just enough to get by. And then once I got a mission and I got in the internet network marketing and I started realizing that if I worked hard on my business, I'll make a living. If I work hard on myself, I'll make a fortune. And I started working on myself. And so I started selecting books on purpose that were designed to create thoughts and parameters in my mind that will lead me to my goals and dreams versus opposing my goals and dreams. So the books you read are very important, all right? So how many of you guys read any self-help books outside of what the teachers give you? Okay, give me a title of a book.
Tuesdays with Maury.
Tuesday?
Tuesdays with Maury.
Okay, all right, self-help book, positive book. Okay, all right. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta do this on purpose, okay? I know sometimes school may get boring and you may think that it's redundant and you may think that I never use these tools, but you gotta start realizing there's a difference between just going to school and getting a quote unquote education that's really designed as a training and being self-educated, educating yourself on things that you're gonna need to be successful in your area, okay? So you gotta be on purpose with your reading. Yeah, everybody should have a reading program, okay? So you're gonna read books that are conducive to where it is your dream is, okay? Board, vision board, okay, anybody got a vision board? You got a vision board? Describe, what's on your vision board?
Like, engineering base, college, I would say country.
Places you wanna go?
Yeah.
The things we talked about the dream, places you wanna go, college you wanna attend, things of that nature, right? So on your vision board, you wanna actually put pictures up of everything that you want out of life, okay? So everything that you're dreaming about, you need to actually find pictures, okay? And don't just stop at pictures. You wanna post notes, you know, like the affirmations, you wanna post sticky notes all around you, right? On your laptops, in your car, on the dash if you have a car, you know, on your above your bed, on your dresser, in your mirror, right in your mirror to yourself, write to yourself what it is that you want, okay? Write your dreams out. Every time you look around, you should be seeing your dreams, okay? All right, so your dreams should be matching what you're speaking every day. What you believe in, what you're speaking, what you're reading, what you visualize should all run congruent, should be matching, okay? All right, y'all got that? Okay, so visualize, so vision board. Sticky notes, I'll put it like that. Okay, so let's look at what we're listening to. Okay, now you do all this right here. I know I'm gonna say something that y'all not gonna like. You believe in the right thing, you're speaking the right thing, you're reading the right thing, you're visualizing the right thing, got your vision board, everything's going positive, and you're trying to listen to some rap. Okay? turn around and listen to some rapper calling your sister out her name or your mom out her name. I know it might sound cool to y'all sometimes when you think about it from that perspective, that if they say something negative about one young lady, that includes all young people, including your mama, your grandmama, big mama, okay? So you gotta be very cognizant of the music that you're listening to. I know it's cool, I know you like listening to that kind of stuff, but be cognizant of the lyrics in the music. It's okay to have a good beat. I like gospel rap, okay? I like that, okay? But you gotta be very cognizant of what you plant in your mind. Because if you do all these things great, and then get here, it negates all these things, just like I gotta start back over. So be very careful on what you're listening to. And really, you guys are like superheroes, okay? And every superhero has a theme song. So you need to pick a theme song that matches the season that you're in, okay? My theme song is Your Destiny and Do It Anyway by Tasha Cobbs, okay? Your Destiny talks about being disciplined. Do It Anyway talks about no matter what the world gives you, I'm gonna succeed anyway. So those are my two theme songs, right? Even Scooby-Doo had a theme song, right? So everybody needs, y'all know what Scooby-Doo got? Y'all know that cartoon, okay? All right, but everybody needs a theme song. So be cognizant of the things you're listening to. So you wanna listen to things that are positive, okay? You wanna make sure that you screen what you're listening to. All right, the last one is your associations. What do I mean by associations? People you're friends with, all right? The people you spend the most of your time with, okay? Can y'all see me over there? Yeah. Okay. So associations are the people that you spend the most time with, all right? You're gonna be very careful of who you spend the most time with, all right? Why is this so important? Anybody? Influence. Who said that? Influence, okay? So if you, they said that if you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th one, right? Okay.
If you see, the only way that'll work is you getting influenced by them.
Okay.
But if you still say for instance, okay, boy.
Speak loud, speak loud.
Okay, look, say for instance, you got 5 broke people around.
Uh-huh.
And let's just say, I don't know how that affects you in a way if like you really letting them influence you, change the way you move and all that. But if you, say for instance, you the leader of it. If you the leader, you don't have to worry about all that. Cause you imposing it on them. So you may be able to help the 5 broke people and they not influence you.
Boy, that's deep right there. Boy, got that on record. All right, listen. What you just said happened to me. When my mentor gave me these things, and I looked around and I took a poll of my closest friends. I actually added an income up and divided it to get that average income, and mine was way above theirs. I knew then I didn't want to cut them off, but I knew I had to get some other associations so I could continue to grow. Okay, so my book I write about being the brokers and the dummies. So I was thinking I was so sharp, y'all. I thought I was the sharpest knife in the drawer. I only realized I was in a drawer full of butter knives. Everybody around me was just so dull, it made me look like I was so sharp. I really wasn't as sharp as I thought I was. So what I started doing was associating with people that were sharper than me, smarter than me, had bigger ideas than me, and then I can take the information back and be a better leader to those that may have not been and not reached my level. So you're absolutely right. I'm not saying you shun those people. What I'm saying is that you look on purpose for people that have bigger, brighter ideas than you do so you can grow. And you always give them a life raft. But if they don't continue to grow with you, it's like this. If I walk into a room and the room is negative, if I can't change the room, then I leave the room.
This is basically what you're doing right now is sharpening the dull knife and you really think about it. If you put it in the same way you just said, so say for instance, right, you just said, you go down.
Speak loud, they need to hear you. Speak loud.
Okay, so say, you just said how you go find different associates so you can have more knowledge, right? That's basically what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically you can use that knowledge that you're using to help the people that want to be helped. If they don't want to be helped, they gonna stay dull forever.
Boy, that word right there, boy, y'all gonna preach that thing, boy. I like that. Make sure you get that on record, okay? Did you guys understand what he's saying? Yes. All right? Okay, so you can reach back and help people You can help people that you're associated with, right? But the Bible says they don't listen, dust your feet off and keep moving to the next time. Okay, come on in. Come on in. She got a seat. She wants to sit right here.
She can sit there.
Okay, man, that's a great perspective. Okay, I want you to keep that thing because being an entrepreneur means what? You're gonna be a leader. All right, people gonna be dependent on you for their paycheck. You guys know how it feels to know that if I don't create something, one of my employees not gonna be able to buy milk for their child. That can be a lot of pressure on an entrepreneur, right? So you gonna be. That's why you have to be so positive and so thankful. You gotta do all these things because people gonna be dependent on you for their paycheck. When you work a job, you can do just enough not to get fired and let them pay you just enough not to quit. Because guess what? That's security. And there's nothing wrong with having that security. But when you become an entrepreneur, then it's all on you, right? People's families gonna perish or they're gonna thrive based upon your ingenuity and based upon your dream and you being able to dream big enough to incorporate the people that work for you dreams within that. That makes sense to y'all? So being a leader is very important, okay? So your associations are very important and make sure that you become the right person that that they're associating with you. So make sure you're right on the inside first, all right? Then you can develop. It's a saying that says, in order to be a leader of men, you must first lead one. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. Okay, now let's take a shift right here. What? I'm like Pastor, now I need a towel. No.
I told you, you teach us so hard, you sweat.
Okay, now, all right, let's look at, we talked about dreaming, okay? Let's look at gift versus skill. Okay. My handwriting is atrocious, I know. All right. Okay, gift versus skill. Anybody know the difference? You raise your hand. You was thinking, man, Paul. I thought you raised your hand. It's like the opposite. Okay, go ahead, young lady back there.
A gift is something you could do already, like you was born with it.
Yep.
A skill is something you were taught and learned how to do.
Perfect definition, right? A gift is something you were born with, right? Something God given you, right? You were born with it, okay? A skill is acquired, learned, right? Okay. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, it's okay to be skillful at things, all right? I'm skillful at several different things in business, but I was gifted at doing this in business, at communicating, connecting with people, right? That's what I was gifted at, okay? So for many years, I just worked in my skills. And I made a good living working in my skills, but I always started to find myself being exhausted. It's different between being tired and exhausted. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you're gonna get tired. And there's such things you're not gonna get tired. You're gonna get tired as an entrepreneur, right? Anybody play sports? You like to play sports. What you play? Football. You playing right now? What position you play? Wide receiver, cornerback. Can you play? You out there actually playing? Well, how you letting them beat y'all all day?
Oh.
And the man, the folks walking around with Lanier shirts on, the parents, and they beat y'all. Huh? Don't worry, but ain't on you. You just want to play. I didn't talk to the coach. Okay, we move past it, skip that, just blur that out. Okay, we ain't talking about that. Yeah, shit, you all right. You all right. My brother played football right here. Amos played football right here. All right, yeah. So you're in good company. So, yeah, what am I talking about, y'all? Skills. Oh, you looking at the board? Okay. Okay. All right, there you go. I'm glad y'all paying attention. Okay. So now skills. When I was in high school, my coach used to tell me in football, if you let me coach your football, son, you'll get a check on Sunday. Right? I was gifted at football, but I love basketball. Right? Couldn't play that good, but I just love basketball. But I kept working on basketball till I actually got really good at basketball, and people thought that was my best sport. Cause I was skillful, but I stayed in the gym 8 hours a day working on basketball. Football, I walked out in the field and that was what I did. It was a gift. And so even though I didn't follow my gift, I had a lot of fun because I love basketball. My point is, I never got a check in any sports. But if I had pursued my gift was, perhaps I would have got that check on Sunday. So that's an example in the sports world since you got pronunciating. I worked on projecting my voice. I have to work all the time on what part of my gift is, right? Because I can communicate well doesn't mean that I speak well. It means I got to do some work, okay? So your gift will make room for you, what that Bible says, right? It didn't say what you like will make room for you. It didn't say what the council says you should do. It didn't say what Big Mama tells you should do. It don't say what the preacher tell you to do. It say your gift will make room for you. So I want you guys to explore what your gift is, okay? That's the number one thing I want you to really explore and find out what you're gifted in. And when you start a business and you work with your gift, then there's no limit. Not the sky, there's no limit when you work within your gift. Now, if you don't know what your gift is, a skill will do just fine. It'll serve you very well. So by show of hands, anybody here got a clue of what their gift is? Go ahead.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, that's all I want. I'm gonna be honest with you all the time.
I'm gonna say everything I want to try to do.
Everything you want to try to do.
Everything I try to do.
Everything you try to do. Okay. So you may have a high aptitude for learning, and you may be very skillful at things. But if you were to say, what do you do the best with the least amount of effort, what would it be? What you doing? You paying attention?
Yep.
You taking notes on that thing, ain't you?
Yep.
You taking notes, everything what you say, you taking notes, I know, all right. All right. What you say, go ahead. What do you do the best with the least amount of effort? Work. I mean, like, be specific.
The schoolwork.
Schoolwork. So you're an academician.
I mean, if you said the least amount of effort, like the least
Yeah.
schoolwork.
Okay. So academics is a gift to you. Having a high aptitude for learning whatever subject, whether it's English, math, whatever it is, that may be a gift to you. And that is a gift, right? Learning is a gift. Now, what you guys realize that we all have a gift. Everybody's born with a gift. So once you hone in your gift now, how do you monetize that gift? Or skill. All right? You got a skill set, young lady?
Yes.
What do you do?
My gift would be like helping people.
Helping people.
So now I'm going into the medical field.
Go to the medical field. Okay? So that's very specific. Now, here's my point to you guys. Once you have a gift, you don't want it to go to waste. You want to actually capitalize on your gift. So how do you do that, right? How do you do that is by finding challenges in your environment that your gift solves, right? So you're going to find a challenge in your environment, your gift solves. You're going to find a challenge in your environment that your gift solves, right? And if you don't know what your gift is, then start to learn different things. You're taking welding, right? Right? There's people that need welding. You took welding at one point, right? So it's people, I'm just using this for example. You don't have to do that, I'm just using for example. So if somebody has a challenge where they need a welder, then her skill set can be monetized. And when you're an entrepreneur, what you want to do is so you can not just earn income, but actually enjoy the business that you're creating is you want to be working within your gift, right? So you want to start to identify and finding the challenges in your environment that your gift can solve. And then you want to scale that, okay? Jim Rome says service to many leads to greatness, okay? Jesus said who was the greatest is the one that serves. So you have to move to service. So this is how you convert. This is how you take, you monetize. You know, you guys look on social media all the time, people monetizing, right? So how you monetize your gift is through service and then duplication of that service. So the marketplace is going to pay you on the value and volume of value that you bring to the marketplace. The value you bring and the volume of value. The value is what challenge can you solve? Can you solve an educational challenge? Right? You can help him with his homework?
Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Well, I feel is that even though it costs the least effort and I get good results out of it, I don't necessarily think think as a gift, because you think about it, 1 + 1 is 2. Everybody know that. You know that with the least amount of effort. But they don't necessarily make that a gift that you know what 1 + 1 is 2 is. That is common knowledge. Basically, what I'm saying is, just because it costs about least effort doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying. But I get what you're saying, though.
Well, here's the thing. It could be vague. It could be kind of vague. Let's give this example. Let's say Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron were born 2,000 years ago. God still gave them the same gifts, but they couldn't apply it the same because basketball wasn't invented 2,000 years ago. So they may have been a Greek warrior. They may have been running track, right? Whatever they were doing back then, they would use their athletic ability to do those things, okay? So a gift can be very broad, all right? So that's why you have to kind of focus on centralizing that gift, okay? My gift, I can do several different things with it, good or bad. So you have to identify your gift. What is it you do with the least amount of effort? But then now, hone in on how you can serve people with that. Let's just use this for example. You don't have to do this, but let's use it for example. Let's say you were gifted at academia, right? And I told you to mess my video up. She did anyway. And you say, okay, I'm gifted at academia. I'm gonna help people by teaching. Okay. Now let's say you teach like Ms. Couture, you teach in a class. Okay. Now you're serving, I don't know, 100 students, right? What if you did an online course and served thousands of students? So the value you bring, you got value, right? You got value in being able to teach. You got volume of value in being able to expand and go to multiple people outside. So now with the internet, you can think really, really big. So now you can have online courses in different languages, different countries. So you can continue to expand. We're talking about Xing things, right? So you want to start at least 10Xing things. So, or we're talking about expanding.
This part is in the Russian. Teachers.
So that's how you can expand your business. That's just one avenue, okay? So we're talking about the value, teaching, the volume of value, using the internet. Now, let's look at the place of value. Place of value, okay? When we're talking about the place of value is, in real estate, they always say location, 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 right? Open restaurant, location, location, location. We have a brick and mortar restaurant or a brick and mortar store, location is everything, okay? Now, with the internet, it's different. When I came up, we didn't have internet. So now you can sell that shirt on the internet, right? We can sell these clothes on the internet, and we don't have to even have a brick and mortar. They can drop ship straight from the manufacturer straight to the consumer, right? So the place of value is different now than it used to be, okay? There's still brick and mortar, and it's still very important that you have the right location, but now we're talking about the internet and using social media, then your location will be how it is that you utilize social media and the internet, right? So you gotta know your demographics. Who are you gonna target? What geographical location you're gonna target, what age group you're gonna target, what income groups you're gonna target. All these things I'm quite sure, Ms. Couture, you're talking about in your marketing, right? So you have to be strategic in that, right? It's the same thing, but it's just on the internet, right? It's just in cyber world. But it's the same philosophy. You have to make sure that you are putting the place of value on just as much important as you do the volume and value, okay? Any questions so far? Anybody got any questions? Okay, let me look at my napkin right quick. Big homes and things like that earlier, right? The things that you drink, right? You want to buy a Coca-Cola, right? That's the purpose of money. It's the back, okay? Who agrees with that? The purpose of money. To survive. Okay, survive. Let's. I don't know what I'm saying. But I spelled it right. All right, I'm start writing the curses up on this word. All right, survive. Buy things. Anybody else got another purpose of money? Save it. Okay? Save it. Any other purpose of money? Spend it? Okay. We got that right here. Spend it. Well, let's right up here, spend it. Okay? Anybody else? We talked about a lot of things today. Y'all can think anything else that the purpose of money. What money can do? What else can money do?
Just stuff buy it, get what you want. I mean, this is the same thing.
Yeah. We got that in the character. What else can money do for you?
You can help other people.
Hold. So I knew you had something in you. I told you, boy. Say it loud.
You can invest it.
Okay, invest it.
I said that.
Invest it.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Okay. Anybody else?
Control.
Influence? Oh man, that's another whole thing. Now, oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about.
To control.
Influence. Influence. Who else? I heard something else.
Control.
Control. You control people. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Control. I'm gonna put good or bad. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
You can use your money to help other people.
Help other people. Okay. Philanthropy. Okay. I ain't the best speller. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Let's review this now. When y'all gave me your answers, I start putting them in the categories. If you notice, you got poor mindset, middle class mindset, rich mindset, and a wealthy mindset. Okay? Most poor people think that the purpose of money is survive, to buy things, to spend money. Okay? And most poor people, and don't nobody take offense to this, I've been all of them, right? Working on wealthy, but I've been all of them, okay? Been poor most of my life, okay? And when I was the brokest, I talked about money more than any of my rich friends talked about money. I talked about the lack thereof, okay? And I was focused on survival, trying to pay a light bill, trying to pay a water bill. And I thought that's the purpose of me working was for, to pay bills. And I started to realize that my rich friends weren't ever tripping about paying bills. Was it because they had more money than me, or because they had a different mindset than me?
Mindset.
That's it. The mindset was different. And so what middle class people do, they focus on, of course somebody says saving, but they also focus on paying bills on time so they can get credit. Right? They work on paying bills on time so they can get credit so they can live a lifestyle that they really can't afford. Okay? Now, don't nobody take offense, step on somebody's toes, say ouch, let's get better together, but that's what the middle class thinks of. The middle class is who supports this country. Everybody prays on the middle class, right? Everybody up in the middle class, okay? The middle class, they're the ones that pay all the taxes, okay? The middle class is the one that the pastor won't tie, right? Okay, the middle class just get hit from all over the place. And they're working under auspices that they're going to one day reach that rich goal they have. They're going to one day live their dream lifestyle. But the challenge with what people in the middle class is they're trying to work their way. They're trying to work their way into being rich. And it's very difficult to work your way to be rich, right? So what the rich people understand is, and rich meaning that they earn a lot of income, right? What they do is they do some investment, but they focus on living their dream lifestyle. All right, we talked about that earlier, right? What your dream was. So rich people focus on living their dream lifestyle. They can be rich because they're making a lot of money in business, in sports, entertainment, but their focus is on their lifestyle, okay? So what happens if you have a pro athlete, let's use pro athlete for example, pro basketball players. Do you know of any pro basketball players that made millions are now broke? The one man who is, go ahead, young lady, I'm listening.
His name started with O. He was homeless and stuff.
I know who's you.
He's homeless, okay, yeah. I can't think of the guy name made $100 million and he broke now, right? I know some kids that grew up in the gym with me right around the Jackson area made millions and they broke now. Okay? So why is that?
Because they spend their money on the wrong things.
They spend their money on the wrong things, right? Okay? Influence. Okay, we're gonna talk more about influence in a second. So rich people want to live their dream lifestyle, right? And what they want to do is they want to live their dream lifestyle off the money that they earn, right? From either maybe running a business, okay? Either playing sports, entertainment, all right? Well, how they earn their money, they want to live their dream lifestyle off the money they earn. This is key. All right, what's the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Knowing how to keep the money.
Knowing how to keep the money?
Yeah.
Okay. Wealthy is generational?
It's really,
Great answer. Yes, ma'am.
really both.
You could be rich today and broke tomorrow. Wealthy means you can still keep your property flowing.
I like you. You came late, but you came with it, though. Okay, so wealthy and rich are two different big things, right? She just said rich can be temporary. Wealthy is generational. She just said generational. So what wealthy people do is they want to live their dream lifestyle. They want to live their dream lifestyle, but not off what they earn, but off what their money earns. You mentioned investing. That's the difference. That's the difference. Wealthy people understand about investing. Rich people do a little bit of investing, but a rich mindset means I want to live my dream lifestyle now. I'm not gonna. So when I get $1 million, I'm gonna go spend $1 million. But the wealth mindset says this: when I get $1 million, I'm going to invest $900,000 and spend $100,000 on me. That's different than a wealthy mindset. If I invested $900,000, now I can keep spending $100,000 every year, versus spending the whole million one time and now I'm back in the same place I was before. Matter of fact, I'm worse off because now I got more debt. So I want you guys to understand what the difference is, because we're going to go into the 4 quadrants in just a second. So you guys got this down, right? Poor people think about survival. Middle class want to work on their credit because they want to be comfortable, right? Rich people, they want to live a dream lifestyle. They want to spend it now, microwave. Wealthy people, they want to put their money to work. Key thing is this: no matter how hard you work, you'll never work harder for your money than your money can work for you. So you have to, and the earlier you start, the better you're going to be with your investments, okay? So we're going to talk about the 4 quadrants, and this is going to make a little more sense to you. Hey, basketball and football here. Tommy Kelly, he's going to leave, go a little near. I get you on that, okay. Now, all right, this is the 4 quadrants. We're going to talk about the 4 quadrants. I guess I could put that up there. 4 quadrants. Quadrants. 4 quadrants. Okay. All right, now, so the 4 quadrants, the first place I heard it talk was about Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he has Rich Dad, Poor Dad for teens as well. And so I read the book for teens because I wanted to understand how he was communicating with teens with this philosophy. So I've been taught this many times in different ways. But so what Robert Kiyosaki does is he divides it into 4 quadrants. So we're talking about being on the right side of money, okay? So the left quadrant and the right quadrant, all right? Does anybody know what the E stands for in the left quadrant? Take a guess. Employee, all right? So the E is for employee. All right? Okay, the S is for self-employed. Okay, the B is for business. The I is for investors. Okay? So, typically speaking, when you are an employee, we talked about it earlier, that now you are subject to a certain amount of money for a certain amount of tax. Whether it's an hourly employee or salary employee, you get a certain amount of money to a certain amount of tax. Sometimes you can get bonuses based upon your performance, okay? That's an employee. Now, self-employment is when you start to be an entrepreneur. Now, some people online will say, well, you're not an entrepreneur until you start running a big business. That's not true. Don't buy it. I heard Vincent said. He was on Instagram saying that you're not an entrepreneur, you're fooling yourself until you can actually earn income absence of yourself, okay? And that's the difference between being a self-employed person and running a business. Is a self-employed person really owns their own job. But here's what makes a self-employed person an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not a position in business. Entrepreneurship is a spirit of the business, right? What does an entrepreneur do? Takes the risk, right? So when you become self-employed, meaning that if you don't go kill nothing, you're not gonna eat nothing. That means you're responsible for your own income. That's the true spirit of an entrepreneur, is because you take that risk and take that responsibility. So it's self-employment, that's when your entrepreneurship actually starts as self-employment. Most businesses are started with self-employment, right? Most businesses you start with yourself, right? Whether you like, Mr. Amos has a lawn service. He started with himself. Then he started hiring people, right? I had the same thing with me. Landscape and construction. I started by myself. Then we started hiring people, and then we started growing it into what we call a business. So self-employment, you got people that are making millions of dollars being self-employed, okay? LeBron James started out being self-employed. He was part of a team, but he had a contract where he was self-employed. LeBron started out as being rich. What is LeBron James now? Well, if he never bounced another basketball, he's going to continue to live his lifestyle, right? Because he has so many investments. Michael Jordan makes more money on his tennis shoes than he ever made playing basketball, okay? So that's the difference between being, I'm just using basketball players because that just came to my mind. So that's the difference between being rich and being wealthy in the basketball world. You got some entertainers, right? They're still doing concerts just to make ends meet. They're living a rich lifestyle, but if they stop doing concerts, they'll come take their house. But then you got people like 50 Cent, Master P, they own the rights for some other people's music, right? They got those beats, those earphones, right? Who is it did the beats? Dr. Dre did the beats, okay? So he don't have to actually go on stage again, right? He's wealthy now. So that's the difference. So when you're self-employed, you can make millions, but the challenge is the day you don't go to work, that's the day you don't eat. Right? Like right now, I'm here with you guys, but I got a crew out earning money. Okay? So that means what? I'm migrating over to the business world. But it used to be a time where when I came to speak to the students, the money stops. Right? You got somebody out today?
Huh?
You got somebody out today?
How's somebody out?
You got somebody working today?
Yeah.
You got a crew going today?
Oh yeah, they work.
Okay, well good. And I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna tell them to give you a hand clap because you sacrificed your income, but you didn't. Okay, so all right, y'all ain't got to clap. Okay. So my point is, you want to get here, all right, and this is where you start to get established. But if you want time freedom, okay, we talk about being setting up legacy, right? What do people think about you, say about you? So when you're rich, you're a blessing to the church, your family financially, but when you're wealthy, now you bought your time back. Now you can be an asset to the church, the community, your family. See, my wife, she can go see about my mama, her mama. She got freedom to do these things because she doesn't have to actually go punch a clock. There's nothing wrong with punching a clock, but I'm just saying the difference in the freedom and the structure. So you gotta understand what your risk tolerance is and what you can live, what you can't live with. It's becoming a time now where I want my time back. So I have to pay people a lot of money to go do what I have to do by myself, all right? So now we're moving. So self-employment, when you're self-employed, you do get a chance to make your own schedule. All right? I was self-employed when I was raising my son. I never missed a basketball game unless it was way out of town. I even attended a lot of practices. I was there for him because I made my schedule. Now I still work 12 hours a day, but I made my schedule around his activities so I can be present day, right? So that was one of the good things about being self-employed, but I didn't get out of the work. Now, when you move to the business, on this side, this is the right side of money, okay? Now when you have a business, now a true business earns money absent of you. So whether I went to work today or didn't go today, is my crew gonna earn the same amount of money? Today, yes. Yesterday, I actually had to go out there and help them, right? I had to go help them yesterday. but I don't have to go every day because I'm buying my time back. That's the difference between moving from a self-employed structure to a business structure. As a true business earns the same amount of income whether you're there or not. Now you can start being all you can be for everything that you want to do outside of business, for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, for your church, for your community, okay? So when you're in the business category now, you can grow it and scale it as big as you want. When you're self-employed, you can only cut so many hairs a day. I got one of my sons, he makes 6 figures cutting hair. He makes about $120,000 a year cutting hair. It just blew my mind. I didn't think he'd make that much money cutting hair, but he does. I got another son that paints bumpers for the dealership. All he does is do mobile bumper repair, right? Makes 6 figures a year. But every day they don't go in, their income goes to zero because they have nobody in place to run a business. There's nothing wrong with their structure, but they have to be cognizant that they have a window where everybody can work so many years, right? My wife used to do hair. Now, you know, at a certain period of time, her body gave out where she didn't want to stand up that many hours. She didn't want to do hair that long because your body can only take so much, right, of anything. So you have to be cognizant that if you go into, especially a blue collar industry of self-employed, like painting, plumbing, electrical, landscaping, you got to understand that you have a small window of opportunity to make your money. And then eventually you're going to have what we call occupational hazards. It's going to start kicking in, right? You look at the people at Nissan, walking on concrete all day. They're going to do it for so many years, right? Now, something like teaching school, my dad taught school, he was 80-something years old, still teaching school. That was his gift, that was what he loved to do, that was perfectly fine. Mr. Couture probably be doing the same thing. She'd be 80, walking around telling y'all what to do, right? So some people, this is not that long. So some occupations you can do for a lifetime. But talking about the blue collar things, then you gotta put a limit on, because you can only cut so many heads a day. So you really can't scale but so much here, right? Now you can get some leverage and get in some employees that you manage and self-employment, but you really can't scale past 1 or 2 crews being self-employed. So in order to go to big business, now you have to become something different. You have to be able to manage yourself first and then be able to manage other people, right? You have to truly be a leader, right? If somebody if you're walking and nobody's following and you're just taking a stroll, you're not really leading. A true leader, people buy into leadership and they want to be led by a person that they believe in, a person that's a big dreamer. So all the things we talked about all boils down to help you transition, right? From here to here, here to here. And once you start a business, then the revenues go up and it gives you so much more leverage in your investments, right? So you want to get to be an investor because remember what wealth people do? They let their money work for them, all right? So that's the very definition of wealth. My definition of wealth is being able to live my dream lifestyle, not off of what I earn, but off of what my money earns, okay? So can you go from here to here? Anybody? Yeah, can you go from an employer to an investor?
Yes.
You can, can't you? Right? But most of the time, because of lack of knowledge or lack of discipline, in my case, it wasn't lack of knowledge, okay? And I'm very transparent in my book, and I say I went from being ignorant to being stupid, right? I went from not knowing to knowing this stuff and not applying it. So I wasn't using wisdom, I chose the stupid road. Until I kept bumping my head, and one day I was sitting at a dinner table, and everybody at the table were multi-millionaires, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna pay for my check, right? And then I realized something's wrong. I know this stuff, I teach this stuff, and how come I'm struggling? And then it boiled down to discipline. And once I realized that it was discipline, then I became more disciplined than ever. Then I went from borrowing money from my 80-something-year-old mama to double my net worth in 1 year, based upon discipline. And that's when I made the transition from somewhere in here to here, to investment, okay? And so you don't have to wait. You don't have to go through the progression of the quadrants to get to investing. You can start investing now. Now, when you're an accredited investor, That means, based upon the federal government, you are accredited to be able to make certain types of investments, right? That means you probably have That means you may have a criteria set where you gotta be worth $400,000. You gotta be earning maybe $250,000 a year to be an accredited investor. But everybody can be an investor. You can start right here. They got investors as low as $25 per month in mutual funds. Okay, $25, $50 a month in mutual funds. So everybody can be an investor day one. You can work at McDonald's as a cashier, all right, in your position, and still be an investor. All right, investing is a mindset. You gotta be disciplined to be here. This is where your freedom is gonna be. Every entrepreneur should be an investor. That goes hands in hand. You have a self-employed business or a business, you should be an investor, right? If you choose to stay an employee, you still should be an investor. That's where your freedom is gonna be. My dad tried to give me a birthday present at age 21. Guess what he gave me? I thought I was gonna get something. He told me, come in the back of the church. I thought I was happy. I thought he was gonna give me this big car or something like that. He said, I'm gonna give you an idea. He said, that's an idea too. I said, idea, yeah, I want you to invest in this mutual fund. I'm like, you want me to invest? Yeah. So you gonna give me some money, man? No, I want you to take your money and invest in it. I'm like, I don't save account. I blew it off, right? Didn't know what I didn't know. Later on in my life, once I started learning these principles, the principle of 72, right, the rule of 72. Have anybody heard of the rule of 72? No. Okay. Rule of 72 is said to be the eighth wonder of the world, right? It's about compounding. It's the compounding effect, okay? You can take 72 and take the interest rate and divide it into 72. It'll tell you how many years it takes for your money to double, okay? So if your interest rate is 12, right? How many times is 12 going to 72? 6, right?
Yes.
12 times 6 is 72, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that means if you have a 12% interest rate, it'll take you 6 years for your money to go. That's what Rule 72 says. So you can take, now they have calculators on your phone. You got those FNC calculator on your phone, and you can do your investments, and you put a number in, you put your monthly amount in, you can just put one number in, your principal amount, and it show you year by year what your money earns, okay? So this is very important. Rule 72, y'all write this down. This is the compounding effect. It's what every investor needs to know. So how you gauge your investment is, using Rule 72, you can tell exactly how good your investment is, right? So what you want to do is, you want to start investing as early as possible, because if you play with that calculator, you'll see that time is on your side, right? Young as you guys are, you can invest less money over a longer period of time, or be a bigger investment than a lot of money over a shorter period of time, okay? So anybody got any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, so, finish my story. I went, when I got in my 40s, I went and looked at that mutual fund that my dad told me to invest in. It was Janus 20. Janus 20 was the name of the fund. It paid about 20% over a 20-year period of time they asked me to invest in, right? I had 2 card notes at $200 a piece. If I had not had those card notes and invested $400 a month over that 20-year period of time, I had $1.2 million. So my daddy did try to give me a really, really good birthday present. I just didn't have something to receive it. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is start young on investments. If it's only $25 a month, $50 a month, it doesn't matter. You want to have the habit of investing. That's the most important thing, that you have your mindset, right, on investing, okay? If no questions, we're going to wrap it up for the day. You got it? Yes, sir.
Don't it depend on which specifically you invest in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you invest, you want to make sure that you have a second or third set of qualified eyes looking at your investments. And there's some good general mutual funds, and you can get coaching. They give you free coaching, like Prime America offers free coaching, and they'll coach you through different mutual funds, high risk, mid risk, low risk funds. You understand? So when you're young, you can afford higher risk. When you're my age, you want mid to low risk because you want to protect your money versus growing your money. So absolutely, and even individual stocks, right? I don't know if you guys, you know, Tesla shot out of the roof, right? Crypto, you know, Bitcoin shot out of the roof. So if you're predicted that, you know, you got people that invested small amounts and now they're just filthy rich. Not filthy rich, I don't like to use that word, but they're very rich, okay? So yes, you do need to have some thought process and you need to seek counsel when you invest. Ms. Williams, I'm wrapping it up. If there's no questions from you, anybody else, then that's what we have for today.
Okay. Let's give Mr. Evans. I was over here taking notes.